Hello Clashers, today I will provide some tips for Ghost that will help you win games by yourself. Tip number 1, master the basics of aiming. Ghost is a character that heavily relies on tracking aim. As a general tip, you should be constantly moving and never stay still. Constantly moving makes you a much harder target to hit, but it also throws off your aim as well. As you can see, my crosshair moves with my character as I strafe left and right. To compensate for this, I move my mouse left and right to keep my crosshair on my target as I move. If my target moves in the opposite direction, then I must move my mouse even more to stay on target. However, if my target moves in the same direction as I am moving, then you can just place the crosshair on the target and not move the mouse anymore. Of course, this is a very simplistic view of aiming, as people are going to be moving at angles towards or away from you in real games. As a warm-up, sometimes I track my target in a circle to get a feel for tracking before the game starts. Tip number 2, always sprint. Sprinting is one of Ghost's most powerful techniques. Sprinting makes you an even harder target to hit while making repositioning even faster. However, the most powerful technique sprinting offers is backwards sprinting. Unlike Soldier 76 in Overwatch, where you have to turn 180 and sprint away from battle, backwards sprinting allows you to gain valuable information from the battlefield as you retreat. Besides that, I'm also able to do what's called a fighting retreat, where I can sprint backwards for a bit, take a few shots, then sprint backwards again. This is useful when I am not 100% running away from battle, but rather putting some distance between myself and my enemy. Most often, I use this technique against knights and diving Sheilas. In this example, my team has already lost the fight, so it means that we have to reset. I start by sprinting backwards to put some distance between me and my enemy. Then I turn the corner to break the enemy's line of sight with me. Now that I feel safe enough, I take a few shots at the enemy. I spot the knight trying to chase me down, so I sprint backwards some more to dodge a potential electro bolt or leap. I am now quite safe from the enemy, so I stop retreating to take a few more shots. This is the basics of Ghost positioning using backwards sprinting. Tip number 3, bounce grenades off ledges or walls to get around corners. Bouncing grenades off walls or ledges is a great way of clearing corners or otherwise areas that out of your sight. There are many areas where bouncing these little metal balls of doom can be particularly effective. Here I will show you some of these spots. Tip number 4, use the grenade to control space and stop dives. This tip is particularly useful against Sheilas as they are your biggest counter. When a Sheila dives you, try to put a grenade between you and the Sheila so that the Sheila can't dive you without getting hit by the grenade. Here, the Sheila is too near to me, so I drop a grenade and use unpredictable movement with sprinting to dodge her shots. Similarly, if anyone is chasing you, you can drop a grenade on the ground. Your enemy cannot chase you without stepping on the grenade. If they do decide to chase you, you can actually turn around and kill them if they have low health. This technique is great for softening enemies who decide to dive you, but if your aim is poor and no one is there to help you, chances are that you will still die anyway. Tip number 5, use your ult to destroy fortified positions. There is nothing like the satisfaction of destroying those miserable turrets and driving people out of fortified positions. Whenever you face a team that has dug themselves into a deep position or have turrets concentrated behind a shield, you should use your ultimate to destroy these positions so that the enemy has to move to a more vulnerable position or retreat. In many situations, players like to hide behind rascal shields, so using your ult to drive them out of the shield is a wise decision. Tip number 6, maximize the area of your ult. Very often, you do not need the combined damage of 3 circles to kill somebody. Stacking 3 circles on top of one another makes it very easy for the enemy to avoid the ult altogether unless they cannot leave their position, such as the point. Instead, it is much more efficient to funnel your enemies into terrible positions through smartly placed circles. In this example, I force my enemies off the point, then I seal off their escape route and force them into this pocket to the side, where I place the final circle, killing the enemy team cleanly and efficiently. That is all, Q Clashers. If you liked this video, I will try to make more guides in the future. Thanks for watching.